Hot soup slid down her scalp, burning her skin, soaking into her braids, dripping onto the kitchen floor like something inside her had finally broken open. "You have 10 minutes to leave," he shouted. The bowl hit the counter with a crack, spinning once before collapsing on its side. The smell of chicken broth filled the air, thick and humiliating. The clock above the fridge ticked loudly, too loudly, each second a threat. She didn't scream. She didn't move. She stood there, a black woman trembling in her own kitchen, soup running down her face, staring at her white husband as if she were seeing him for the first time. Not the charming man from charity galas. Not the respected executive everyone admired. This man, eyes cold, lips curled in disgust, had been here all along. 5 minutes later, everything would change. But right now, all she felt was heat, shame, and the quiet realization that love had left this house a long time ago. "Did you hear me?" he snapped. 10 minutes. Take your junk and go back to wherever you came from." The words landed harder than the soup. She glanced at the clock. 9 minutes. She turned without answering and walked down the hallway. Her footsteps felt distant, like they belonged to someone else. Photos lined the walls, his promotions, his parents, his accomplishments. In every picture she was either cropped out or standing slightly behind him, smiling like she was grateful just to be there. She remembered the beginning. How he'd seen her at a bus stop in the rain, offered her his coat, told her she was beautiful like it was a secret just for them. How people stared when they held hands. How he said, "I don't see color," and she thought that meant love. She didn't understand then that not seeing her color meant not seeing her at all. The control came slowly. The comments came softly. The cruelty came wrapped in concern. By the time the yelling started, she had already learned how to shrink. 8 minutes. She went into the bedroom. Her clothes took up one small corner of the closet. His suits dominated the space like he owned the air itself. She grabbed a duffel bag, hands shaking, trying to think. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Asterisk if he ever forces you out suddenly, check the blue folder. Bottom drawer, asterisk. Her heart skipped. The bottom drawer of the dresser had always been locked. Always off limits. "Work stuff," he said. "You wouldn't understand." She dropped the bag and knelt. The drawer resisted, then slid open with a sharp sound, like a truth snapping free. Inside was a blue folder. She opened it, and the world tilted. Bank statements. Property deeds. Trust documents. Emails printed and highlighted. Her name was everywhere. Not as a spouse. As an owner. She flipped faster, breath shallow. Years ago, before they were married, he had used her credit, her signature, her identity to start companies. He had framed it as temporary. Promised to transfer things back. He never did. But the transfers were there. Quiet. Legal. Complete. Every major asset he bragged about. Legally hers. Her knees weakened. 7 minutes. Another message buzzed. Asterisk I'm the lawyer who fixed what he tried to steal. He thought you'd never open that drawer, asterisk. Her chest tightened. She remembered now, signing papers she wasn't allowed to read, being rushed, being told to trust him. She had trusted him with everything. And somehow, that trust had saved her. Footsteps thundered toward the bedroom. "Time's almost up," he said, leaning against the doorframe. "Don't take anything that isn't yours." She stood slowly, clutching the folder. "I'm not," she said. He laughed. "You don't own a thing. I made you." She looked at him, really looked at him, and smiled. It was small. Calm. Certain. That smile scared him. She walked past him, out of the bedroom, through the kitchen where soup still stained the floor, and out the front door. Cold night air wrapped around her like mercy. Her phone buzzed again. Asterisk go to the hotel on Grant Street. I'll be there in the morning, asterisk. She didn't look back. Because she finally understood, he needed her powerless to feel powerful. And she never was. The next morning, he woke up alone. At first, he felt relieved. No more attitude. No more explanations. No more pretending to be patient. Then his phone rang. Bank. Frozen accounts. Then another call. Board members. Emergency meeting. By noon, his assistant was crying. By 3, his access badge stopped working. By 5, a courier delivered a thick envelope. Inside was a single letter. Asterisk effective immediately, you are removed from all executive authority. Ownership remains unchanged, asterisk. Unchanged, because it had never been his. He drove home in a panic, heart pounding, rehearsing excuses, apologies, threats. But the locks had been changed. So had his life. She stood in a courtroom a week later, wearing a simple dress, spine straight, eyes steady. The judge listened. The document spoke. The truth didn't need to shout. The divorce was swift. The lawsuit was devastating. The press was merciless. How did he lose everything, they asked. No one asked how she survived years of silence. She moved into one of the properties she owned but had never been allowed to see. Sunlight poured through the windows. Space. Quiet. Peace. One evening, she washed her hair slowly, watching the water run clear down the drain. No soup. No shouting. No countdown. Just her. Months later, she opened a foundation for women trapped where she once was. She hired lawyers. Therapists. Advocates. She made sure no one had to wait for permission to be free. And sometimes, when the night was quiet, she thought of that kitchen clock. How 10 minutes had felt like an ending. When it was really the beginning. Because the moment he told her to leave was the moment he lost everything.